I'd like to ask the audience, people joining us in the room, if you have any questions they would like to ask him directly. If you have any question, you can just drop a chat right now. Just drop a chat to ask him direct questions. I mean, you now have access to him directly. So if you have any question, make sure you just drop it in the chat box while we expect more people to join us. And if you just join us, make sure you just mute yourself. Okay. So I'd like to hand over the conversation over to Mrs. Toyin Phyllis Wiggins. She'll be telling us more about Olayide Olumeko. But before we do that, if you have any question, please, can you just drop the question? Or I wouldn't want a situation where we have the room all rowdy. I would have said maybe you ask him directly. So if you have any question, okay, just feel free, leave a question, and he'll be here to answer your question. So over to Mrs. Toyin Phyllis Wiggins.
Okay, very good, everyone.
Unfortunately, I don't mean to interrupt. I cannot hear what you're saying. If it's, I do see your question in the chat, Toyin. So if it's the same question as in the chat, I can answer your question, but I just can't hear you at the moment. Is it the same question you posted in the chat?
No, I was telling you that is the question he was asking.
Oh, that's the question he was at. I got you. Now I heard that loud and clear. That was perfect. Okay. I can hear you at the moment. So did you have a question too?
No, I am going to introduce Olayide to you.
Gotcha.
Okay. So thank you so very much for giving us the opportunity to have this discourse with you. I also want to thank Iran for being part of this program. Thank you so much. So Olayide Olumeko is a storyteller. Olayide is a salesman. Olayide Olumeko is a devoted father and a consummate father. He is a volunteer par excellence. Olayide is someone you can rely on. And I'm so glad that I'm in the life of Olayide as one of his mentors. Olayide, you can always rely on Olayide. When you call for volunteer and you assign assignment to each and every one of them, you can be rest assured that Olayide will submit his own assignment long before anybody. So I just love Olayide, and I'm so glad that he's adding another year to his year today. And Olayide is a co-founder of the Girls Code Initiative. The Girls Code Initiative is an initiative that is set to educate the girl's child on coding, which is something that is needful for the 21st century. And Olayide is all about AI, artificial intelligence. He wants the girl child not to be left behind. He wants every girl child in Africa to have this experience of coding. Olayide has a platform that is transporting Nigerians to go get education outside Nigeria. He is a channel that Nigerians can get abroad to study. So Olayide is an all-rounder. Olayide is someone you can rely on. Olayide is a lover of God. Olayide loves people around him. So this is just a little about Olayide that I'm introducing to everybody in the house today. And thank you so very much, Mike, for giving us your time and for responding to the call of Olayide to celebrate this day with him. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Toyin Phyllis Wiggins, for that awesome introduction about Olayide. But if you're just joining us, we just had a big book review from Mike Lowitz. I'm so sorry if I'm not calling that name correctly.
No, it's better than most people say it.
Okay, all right. Please, if you have any questions for him directly about his book, do ensure you just leave a chat on the chat box. Just asking questions directly. I don't know. Mr. Olayide said I should just give this platform for everyone to get to meet us before we leave. But then Olayide, can we have you back? Can we have you back up to just talk to us? Today is your birthday. We really appreciate everyone that is joining us. And because of Olayide, I must say that I just took the interest of studying books that could help me as a young entrepreneur and also a startup. I just started last year, and so far so good. Meeting Olayide has transformed my life. Okay, so please, if you have any question for Mr. Mike, do ensure you just leave a question in the chat box. Can we have Olayide back right up to just join us? Can we have Olayide? Is Olayide here? Is Olayide here? Okay, I'm pleased to also inform everyone that we're live on YouTube. Just to make everyone to be very, to be on the know that we're transmitting on live on Facebook, and also on YouTube. Okay, so Mrs. Okay, we're having comments coming in. Okay, if you have any questions for him directly, please do ensure you leave the question on the chat box. Olayide, can we have you back up?
Yeah, okay, sorry. I've been battling with my second system to have volume of have the voice, but it seems it's not responding. Okay, thank you so much, Joey, for that support, the back up, for showing up today on one of my memorable days today. Thank you so much. Can I also add something here? Though quite a number of what you said, I could not pick them because I was walking behind to make sure my second system works. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Oh, that's correct. Okay. Now, you mentioned in the chapter 2 of your book, the 4 principles, and which I picked, use a small plate, serve sequentially, remove the temptation, and enforce a rhythm. Now, use the small plate. You had mentioned that you need to serve yourself. You don't need to serve yourself too much food on your plate. And you made a very remarkable reference to when you were growing up, when you had this mindset from your mom who had told you that you should have a lot of food in the plate. And fortunately, when you were coming out of that shambles, where you have lost everything, you were maybe about 1 a.m. in the morning, you were watching the PBS, and the person on the TV had mentioned how to stay healthy. You don't need to eat a lot of food to stay healthy, all of that. So can you share more light in that regards, as regards taking smaller of your funds, and how can you now translate that into the business world when you're starting up as a business or as an entrepreneur?
Yes. So this concept is rooted in a phenomena called Parkinson's law. And so maybe that's something you want to Google later on. I'll post it in the chat too. Parkinson's law, you may have heard of Parkinson's disease. This is totally different.
Yeah.
But Parkinson was a behavioral economist studying human behavior. And what he determined challenged the established notion we hear in business. We're told that as demand increases, the more people want to consume what we have to offer, the more supply increases. You'll do more, competition will rise to the occasion. Parkinson said that's true in some occasions, but more frequently, it's the reverse. It's actually as supply increases that demand will increase to meet supply. So it's not demand driving supply. He said supply driving demand. And the example is with food. So this is true internationally, but particularly in the US. 300 years ago, if you can see me, plates, a dining plate was about this size. What we consider a coffee saucer or a dessert plate. Over the last 300 years, and there's studies you can read about this, plates have more than doubled in size. This is true internationally too. But human behavior hasn't changed. What we did 300 years ago is we would put food in our plate until the plate's capacity was filled, and we'd eat what's on the plate. But now plates have doubled in size. Our behavior is the same. Fill the plate, eat what's on the plate. Double the plate size, double the portions. As a global society now, double our waistline. So the supply is dictating our behavior. This is true for food, but it's true for money. It's true for so many aspects of our life. So with money, the more money that's made available to us, the more we spend. The more the supply of money, the more we spend. Everyone on this call may have noticed in your own business, as the income of your business hopefully is increasing over time, you may have noticed that your spend increases almost uncannily at the exact same rate. Is there something mystical happening? No, it's Parkinson's law. It's called being human. And therefore, we need to change the system to capture our human behavior. To try to change ourselves is very difficult, but we can always capture and channel. So what we do is we constrain the amount of money available to the business, and the business adjusts. We give it a smaller plate of food. The funny thing is people, 300 years ago were doing okay when it came to their diets. When we constrain the amount of money available to the business will do okay. In fact, what we found is businesses that restrict how much money is flowing into the business, take their profit and hide it away, consistently, and we have thousands of case studies now, consistently grow faster than their competition, which was almost shocking to me. But here's what we found. When you take your profit first, there's less money to operate your business. You have to be more selective in how you run your business. You have to choose, is it really appropriate to do this kind of marketing, or should I spend it here? What are the things that are working when I spend money, and I'll do more of that? And what's not working, I'm going to stop spending money on that. So we start channeling our use of the money. We start thinking much more thoughtfully about our decision-making, and the businesses consistently grow faster. That's the power of this Parkinson's law. That's the concept.
Wow. That's very insightful, Mr. Mike. You had mentioned take your profit first because in that same chapter 2, you said sales minus profit is equal to expenses.
Right.
That's correct. Now you came back. Okay, very perfect. Good. Now you came back to say that before you wrote that, you mentioned that sales minus expenses is equal to profit. That's the mindset that quite a number of businesses have. How can you justify that? How do you justify that?
Yeah. So the old mindset was sales minus expenses equals profit. And when I say old, it is the existing mindset. We are taught this everywhere. And it makes logical sense. You have something, sales, you make an effort to generate those sales, you have to take that away, and what's left over is profit. I understand the logic. My point is, it doesn't work. There was a study, it emanated out of the US by the SBA, Small Business Administration. It was then handled by a private institution called US Bank. They conducted a study that went international. There are 300 million of us on this planet, entrepreneurs, business owners, 300 million small businesses. The study identified that 83% of these businesses, our businesses, are surviving check by check. We don't have enough money today to pay our bills tomorrow, so we need to sell something right now. It's hand to mouth survival for 83% of businesses. And what I struggled with is you and I think we start our businesses for the same reasons. I want financial freedom. I don't want to worry about money. I want to serve and provide for my family, my community. And I want personal freedom. I want to do what I want when I want. I want to enjoy and love the work I do. It's funny, we start our work for love and money, and the two things that seem never to happen is we don't like the work we do and we don't make money. It's the opposite of what we wanted. I am convinced it's this old formula of sales minus expense equals profit. This formula tells us sell what you can, put the money back in the business to sell more, and we stay stuck up here and we never achieve profit. And that's why I want to introduce this formula. You sell, you subtract a portion of profit, your business knows what to operate with, and we repeat that cycle over and over again. Just because hundreds or thousands of books teach the old system, it doesn't mean it's an effective system, just because people are saying it. The proof is the data. 83% of businesses struggle check to check. The businesses that implement profit first we have 100% success with profitability. Varying amounts, they're not always massive profits, but they're consistently taking portions of that money and achieving it. That's why we have to take our profit first.
That's interesting. I will take you on the second part where you said never, ever, ever pay bills first. The money moves from the income account into your profit account. Yes. Now, you went further to say that, and after, if there isn't enough money left for expenses, this does not mean you need to pull from other accounts. What it does mean is that your business is telling you that you cannot afford those expenses. So it is
so you have me excited. Exactly. We are not in business to shuffle money from our clients and give them to our vendors. We are in business to serve our clients, be financially rewarded for that, to strengthen our business and take care of our vendors. The problem is, Parkinson's law, if every dollar comes in, income's increasing, all the expenses increase immediately, and all dollars go out, we are not sustainable. I want everyone on this call to understand your clients, your customers want you to be profitable. They are dying for you to be profitable. Now, they'll never say that. They'll never say, hey, can you charge me more? Could you take a little more money from me? Of course they won't say that. But here's what your clients will say. When I buy your product or your service, I want the best version of it. I want your full attention to me. I want you caring for me. I want to be your number one customer. The only way we can do that is if we care for our profit. Because if I'm not caring for my profit, I have to worry about getting another customer. Most businesses, while I'm serving one customer, I'm looking for the next one, hoping to get more business in. My attention is divided. Profitability allows us to have comfort, to have focus, and to have care. It is the lifeblood of your business. We have a responsibility to be profitable. And I want to share this. With this economy right now and what's going on with COVID, we are in for a fight, us small business owners. I've been saying, and I now regret it, that small business is the backbone of the economy. I take that back. I don't think that's right. I think small business is the economy. For this economy to sustain, it's you, it's me, it's us who have to be successful. And it's the big companies, this is a very American perspective, but Amazon and Google and Airbnb, those are the companies that come to mind. There's a tsunami wave. There's this massive wave of change coming through our globe right now. And the big companies are on tanker ships that will roll over. We're on little jet boats. We can carve and turn. This is our opportunity to catch that wave and serve it. We have a responsibility to do this. And for this economy to be stable and strong again, it's on your back and my back, small business owners. The only way for us to be of service is to be profitable. We have to, because that's sustainability.
Excellent, Mr. Mike. We've extracted so much information from you, and that's been very, very profitable. I think we're taking the profit from you also first.
Good. I love it. Let's do it.
So I'm taking the profit from you first. Okay, so I will jump into chapter 3, and I want you to just give us a brief about chapter 3 before questions and answers are thrown in. I don't know if questions were asked before, but please give us an overview of chapter 3, setting up a profit first for your business. How do you achieve this? This is the core of why we're here this evening, and that is what we want to quickly drive. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you the most simple version. The entire system is taught in the book, but it can also be overwhelming. And that's my fear. I don't want you leaving today and saying, I'm inspired to be profitable, but not doing anything. That means I failed you. Now, I am not going to fail you. We are going to get an account set up. So there's 2 steps you need to do, and you have to do it. I know it's the evening. I'll give it to you tomorrow. But by tomorrow, you have to do this. Step 1 is contact your bank and set up an account. And I know it can take a long time to set up accounts. And I know there can be fees and stuff associated with it. But you have to get this account set up. Remember, it has to intercept our behavioral path. If we log into our bank accounts to see how much money is in my business, the account must be there. So step one, by tomorrow morning, commit to me, set up that one account for your business and call it profit. It's a savings account. The second step is start allocating 1% of your money. I'm saying if your business makes $100 US today, take $1, because if you make $100 today, you can run your business off $100. You take $1 and put in profit, you can run your business off of $99. The effect of taking 1% on how you operate your business won't affect you. But what will affect you is you'll start having a profit. And I know from experience, it's just a matter of time before you change that 1% to 2 or 5 or 10. And over time, you will start improving the profit system and building into the full system. And you'll be more profitable than ever before. And our world needs your profit. We need sustainable, healthy businesses. So that's the system. By tomorrow, within 24 hours of now, get that one account set up and allocate 1%. And that will start significant change, permanent change for your business. I promise you.
Wow, that's a very action plan for every one of us. I've not thought about this before now, that having a separate account, because I was discussing this book with someone I met. She runs a small business in town also, and I told about this event. And I got confused as regards opening separate accounts for different purposes in the system of your business. Is that the same you refer to in that book? Or you mean what you said just now, one account dedicated for taking your profit first, 1% or 2%?
That's the starting point. The book will give you all these additional accounts. And that's something we want to achieve to refine and tweak our business, but it's not this place to start. I think I say it between chapter 2 and chapter 3 is to stop and go to the bank right now for that one account. This is the starting point. It's the first small step that will start permanent change. It is normal when people read the book, the number one challenge they have is the overwhelm. It feels like too much. And then we go back to the old way of how we've been running our business, which is not working for us. I don't want that trap of I need something new, but I can't do it because it's too much. So this one step, this one simple thing of getting one account set up in 1% is a step that will start this permanent change.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mike.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. I want to open the floor to everybody. You can unmute yourself if you have a question for Mr. Mike and you want to throw just 1 or 2%.
You can put it in the chat too.
Okay. You can type in the chat, and my mentor mentioned, thank you for giving us this formula: sales minus profit is equal to expenses. Excellent. Thank you. My mentor, that's Mrs. Tony Wiggins. She's so into me. She has poured herself into me already. Thank you. All right.
And I saw
Do we have any
gentleman
question?
with her at the moment has a very similar beard to mine. I was impressed.
That's the husband.
Very handsome man. Nice beard.
We can see your face, Reverend Wiggins. Aha, good, excellent. So you have a compliment from Mr. Mike.
It's a good beard.
Good. So do you have anyone else in the house who has a question from Mr. Mike before we move on? Joey, I still assume you're still there.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good.
So
Any
do we have any
questions?
questions?
Ini, Mr. Ini. Okay,
Yeah,
good, Joey.
any questions? If you're here, you have any question, feel free to leave a comment on the chat
Okay.
box. Okay, yeah. Before we wrap up, thank you very much, Mr. Mike. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone that's been part of this. Mr. Aaron Yuran, I'm finally pleased to meet you.
I think before Mr. Mike leaves, or before we all leave,
yes.
Joey's network is so bad. But however, before Mr. Mike leaves, I would still love that Mr. Mike should come to us on, tell us your story. Tell us what happened. You had two multi-million dollar company, and it went bad for you, and until your daughter rescued you with a piggy account. Tell us a little bit about that before we all call it a day. Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, so the quick story is I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I started businesses when I was very young, right out of university. And I had an arrogance about me thinking I knew everything that made business successful. I did start a company, which I don't often share in my resume. That was a disaster. I started investing in other businesses. I was spending money left and right. And I lost all of my money, our family's money. My daughter, when I came home to say that I lost everything, ran to her bedroom and grabbed a piggy bank and said, "Daddy, if we need money, I can provide it." That was a shocking moment for me that I needed to understand. I didn't understand entrepreneurship. I've devoted my life to understand what makes entrepreneurs successful and to make it simple. In fact, I'm in my office now, my wall here, there's my life's mission: to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty on our globe. The entrepreneurial poverty is where you start a business with great intention and it becomes a great burden. That's not how it should be. And that day changed everything for me. And since then, you can see my books. That's what I do. I write books and I talk, trying to help entrepreneurs be the greatest success that they envision.
I can see that emotion on your face. It's all written all over you. You can still feel the past. It's still very real. I can still feel it. I can take that profit first from that experience from you. However, thank you very much. Faith has a question, and you can unmute yourself to ask quickly. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mike. I think I came in late, but I was able to still gain some things from what you said so far. My question is that, there are processes to starting up a business. And when you start a business, at times you don't really get a return the way you actually want it to be. Okay, so at times you get some losses, like you don't even make any profit at all,
Mama be
so
hungry.
I really need your advice, or if there's any principle that, when a business starts, there is need for sustainability. And when we start a business and then you're not having profit and instead you're having a loss, what advice do you have from when the business starts to when the business can actually break even?
Okay, great question, Faith. I think your question was what I heard, because there was a little bit of noise, was when starting a business, when can we actually start taking profit and how can we make that business grow? I heard a couple elements. So when starting a business, the early stages are a great experiment. We don't know what's going to work until we see what works. So all the planning in the world is valuable, but it can go outside the window when it doesn't play out to be true. So in starting a business, consider it the great experiment. Go in with what you believe to be the best model. Who are the right customers? How can I serve them? What's a fair price for them and for me? Ask yourself those questions, but be very observant that what we assume to be the starting point may have to adjust. What we assume to be true may need to change. So allow yourself that flexibility. It's that rigidness in the early beginnings of a business that actually can choke a business because we stick with something that's not working. The element of profit is something we need to take right away. So the day you open that business, Faith, take your profit starting immediately, because we need that discipline of being profitable in every transaction. Ultimately, I found people speak the truth not through their words, but through their wallets about how much money they spend. So customers and friends will say, "This is such a great idea, go for it. I would buy it all day long." And then you open the business and no one's buying anything. They're telling you through their wallets that they don't believe in your product. So as you start your business, immediately ask people to put money down. Give me a deposit, pay it in advance, give me a small portion to prove your idea is working. Your job is always take a small percentage of profit away from that and then start delivering on the business. So it's flexibility, it's taking profit from day one, and it's listening to wallets, not words. I hope that helps, brother.
That's interesting. Thank you, Mr. Mike. The message tonight is for us to take profit first from our business. 1% of your income into the business, the concept is that take that profit first before you pay your bills. Don't start with paying your bills first before you keep your profit somewhere in your account. That's a concept that Mr. Mike is driving, and I think I'm buying into this. I'm actually buying into this. And before you take your bills, or before you pay your taxes, pay your salaries, pay your suppliers, what we call the payables, the account payables in accounting, because I'm an account graduate also, you must take your profit first and keep that. Correct. Then that will give you an overview of your cash flow. That gives you an insight and a depth insight into the health of your business. Once you take your profit, it will give you an insight that tells you, is this business worth paying for these bills? Is this business worth incurring these expenses going forward? And once you discover that, you can cut down on those expenses that are killing the business and restructure yourself and achieve your goals. That's my take on for myself from this meeting tonight. And I believe it applies to everybody also. Joey, over to you. Yes. Mr. Aaron, okay, I've not heard you.
For me, yeah, I think Mr. Aaron should talk. I mean,
yes, I'll give you something. First of all, I think what Mike is saying is like, it's amazingly refreshing, because I'm working with startups and other companies in Israel, and I never heard this kind of way of looking on how to build your business and profit. But I think the most amazing thing that Mike is saying is not about how to build a business, it's about how to build good business habits. It's the habit that you have. And I think we see it all around, that the minute you start a business, you start building your own bad habits, and you don't pay attention for building your good ones. And what Mike is saying here is about build good habits from day one. And I think that's like, that's amazingly refreshing, and it's great value for everyone. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Mr. Hiran. Joey, over to you, then we can call it a day if there are no other contributions from anywhere.
All right, so what stood out for me personally is to have a separate account, basically. I mean, based on what Yuran emphasized about what Mr. Mike said about you taking your business more seriously by creating profit first, or making profit first, is very important for me. So I think with this, we've come to the end of today's conversation. Today is Olayide's birthday. Can we sing for him? Is it possible to sing for him? Is it possible? So
maybe one person
before we leave. Yes. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Olayide.
Birthday.
Dear Olayide.
Happy
birthday
to you.
Thank you.
Oh, this was great.
Unfortunately,
thank you very much.
The donuts are here.
In today. Yeah. Olayide, can you just give us your parting word before we leave? Because I know you'll be having more book reviews subsequently as you're turning older and wiser every year. So what book should we be looking out for? And I think it will, well, let me just let the cat out of the bag. Let me allow you to talk. So
okay,
what book should we be looking out for? And
thank you, Mr. Joey.
Yes.
You know, for me, it comes spontaneously. So I won't specifically mention that this is the book I'm going to talk about next year, 13th of September, 2021. But something came to my mind, and I started talking about the possibility of talking to the wealthiest man on planet Earth. and that's in person of the CEO of Amazon. That came to my mind. And I want to see a possibility of reaching out to him and asking him to be part of this event next year. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I can believe in my mind that it's possible. There's nothing impossible. So Jeff Bezos is possible next year, 13th September 2021. Possible.
Awesome.
I believe that.
I believe that. I mean, it's possible.
So, Mr. Mike, are you going? Mr. Mike, are you in?
Am I, pardon me?
Yes, are you in?
Yeah, next year for sure. Let's do it again.
September 2021, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, let's get Bezos here, and I'd love to be witness to that.
Let him come and share with us how he had sold hand sanitizers and they added 8 million USD, or 8 million USD to his treasures.
Or how about this? How about this? Why not someone in this room? Why not someone in this room become the next Jeff Bezos or Jill Bezos? Why not one of us?
Maybe
show up next year?
Maybe.
I think
whose name comes to my mind right now? Mr. Fate is here. My mentor is here. Joey is here also.
Yeah.
So who is going to be the next Jeff?
I should be the next Jeff.
Okay.
Myself, I'm here.
Okay,
good.
I can see you. No. All right. On a closing remark, I want to appreciate everybody for today. Thank you for being part of this dream. It's the second time I'm doing this every year, and it's getting hotter, it's getting fascinating, interesting. So I want to say thank you to Mr. Mike, who in a short time I'd reach out to him, and he through the PA made all of this happen. That's Lisa. And I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to your family. Thank you to your dreams. Thank you to your daughter who had given you a bailout. And also to everyone around the world that you are affecting their life. Thank you to Mr. Hiram from Tel Aviv for joining in. Thank you to Mr. Faith, my mentor, Patricia Okoko, and Mr. Jobu is trying to join in right now. And everybody who had come today to be part of this meeting, I want to sincerely appreciate. I want to also appreciate my wife, beautiful wife, my two daughters, and my son who is trying to come up here. Okay, come up. You can see him. So he's trying to join in this scenario. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, my mentor, Mrs. Wiggins, and the Reverend Wiggins for being part of this also. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time. You made my day, actually. Thank you very much. And see you 13th September 2021. Thank you so much. Bye.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday too. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Olu.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Mommy Wiggins, thank you. I'll meet yourself.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you too. Thank you, Reverend.
We need our donuts.
Okay, no problem. We'll have a physical meetup.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you, bye. Thank you, Sule. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Mr. Job. Thank you, Mr. Akintunde. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. I wish you the same. Thank you too. I wish you the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.